Hello and welcome back to ManVFilm. It's time for some more announcements. This time we have Eureka Entertainment's announcements for September. 3 announcements thus far. All I've seen is the covers. I've not dived into what they are about, but we're going to do that together and see if there's anything of note this time around. First up, we have Flaming Brothers. Okay. Standout Hong Kong crime thriller released amidst the wave of heroic bloodshed films that followed in the wake of John Woo's A Better Tomorrow and Ringo Lam's City on Fire. Flaming Brothers features Alan Tang and Chow Yun-fat, who was quickly rising to superstardom in the late 80s as triad brothers determined to protect their criminal operation and each other no matter what the cost. Both orphaned at a young age, Chung Wo-tin and Chan Wai-lun grew up together on the streets, forming a strong bond in their childhood that remains unbroken as they become triad brothers in adulthood. Having recently opened a nightclub together, they begin to feel that they have finally made it. That is, at least until they become embroiled in a conflict with the ruthless gangster Ko Lo-se and his right-hand man, who threatened to take away everything that Tin and Lun have worked for. Equal parts an action-packed thrill ride and a rumination on the bonds of male friendship, Flaming Brothers boasts a screenplay written by Kar-wai, the celebrated auteur who would go on to write and direct Chunggun Express and In the Mood for Love. So let's see. Limited edition O-Cards slipcase booklet. We have a 1080p HD from a new 2K restoration, original Cantonese audio, English dubbed audio, English subtitles newly translated for this release, new commentary by Mike Leader in Arn Venema, archival interview with director Joe Chang, and new video location piece by CFK, and the original theatrical trailer. No. Doesn't jump out at me immediately as I need to see this, I must watch it. But you know, it's Eureka, so I tend to give everything a spin at some point. Next, we have Furious Swords and Fantastic Warriors. Now, this box set here looks very different in style to things that Eureka have usually done. Looks more like a kind of imprint box, which is interesting. So let's see what we have. Disc 1, we have Men from the Monastery and Shaolin Martial Arts. And Disc 2 has King Eagle and Iron Bodyguard. Disc 3 has Fantastic Magic Baby and The Weird Man. Disc 4 has Trail of the Broken Blade and Wandering Swordsman. And Disc 5, Trilogy of Swordsmen and New Shaolin Boxers. There's a whole lot of films going on there. Distinguished by his penchant for bloodshed and thematic concentration on the bonds of brotherhood and masculine sacrifice, Cheh is one of the most prolific and accomplished directors ever to emerge from the Hong Kong film industry. Often hailed as the godfather of Hong Kong cinema, he enjoyed a career spanning 6 decades and worked in a multitude of genres, from Chinese opera to kung fu films via wuxia pian, historical epics and tales of the supernatural. Presented here are 10 films that reveal the range and versatility of Chang's career as a filmmaker. Traditional wuxia pian is represented by King Eagle, Trail of the Broken Blade and Wandering Swordsman, choreographed by Lu Carleung. Men from the Monastery and Shaolin Martial Arts are both drawn from Chang's Shaolin cycle. Included here alongside New Shaolin Boxers, Iron Bodyguard, released at the dawn of the Kung Fu era, is representative of changing trends in Hong Kong cinema, and some of Chang's more esoteric work is represented by the opera film The Fantastic Magic Baby and the supernatural fantasy The Weird Man. Also included is the anthology film Trilogy of Swordsmanship, which Chang contributed a segment alongside his contemporaries Yu Feng and Chen Kang. All produced during Chang-Cheh's tenure at Shaw Brothers, these 10 films are a testament to the director's distinct aesthetic style and his reoccurring thematic preoccupations. Oh, there's a lot to go over there. Limited edition double-walled slipcase with 2 Amore cases featuring new artwork. limited edition booklet, 1080p HD presentations of all 10 films, English subtitles, new commentaries on Men from Monastery, The Trail of the Broken Blade and the Weird Man by David West, new audio commentaries on King Eagle, The Wandering Swordsman, Trilogy of Swordsmanship, The Fantastic Magic Baby by Mike Leader and Arne Venema, and new audio commentaries on Shaolin Martial Arts, Iron Bodyguard, and New Shaolin Boxers by Frank Zheng. And then we have a new commentary on The Fantastic Magic Baby by Frank Zheng, new interview with Hong Kong cinema scholar Wayne Wong on the life and work of Chang, Cheh, new video essay by Jonathan Clements on Iron Bodyguard, and a new video essay on Chang Cheh's Shaolin film. I mean, there is a lot in there to go through. I mean, I'm kind of interested. Of course I am. 5 discs, 10 films, which is a big set for Eureka. And I wonder if that's going to lead to other grouped by director film sets, because that would be kind of interesting. Very different, very unusual, a kind of new idea from Eureka. Definitely looks like it's coming in one of those imprint style boxes, which isn't a bad thing. Those are quite impressive. And yeah, I'm kind of interested in that one. Next up, we have Wrack and Ruin, the Rubble Film at DEFA. So another box set, another Masters of Cinema series, numbers 326 to 330. Films include The Murderers Are Among Us, Somewhere in Berlin, Police Raid, Marriage in the Shadows, and The Blum Affair. The first film studio to begin operating in post-war Germany, DEFA was officially authorised to begin making films in the Soviet occupation zone in 1946. Overseen by the Soviet military administration, one of its primary mandates was to aid in the denazification of Germany by focusing on anti-fascist themes in films that would ruminate on the literal and figurative wreckage left behind by the Third Reich. Often shot on location in the ruins of Berlin, these early DEFA productions have come to be called Trümmerfilm or Rubble Films and remain some of the most important pictures the studio ever made. That sounds quite quite interesting. The first film produced in post-war Germany, The Murderers Are Among Us, sees a concentration camp survivor return home to Berlin only to find a stranger living in her apartment, an ex-soldier who harbours a terrible secret. Somewhere in Berlin follows a group of children who spend their days playing in the bombed-out buildings and returning prisoner of war, seeking a new sense of purpose. In Police Raid, a determined detective leads a crackdown on black marketeers who aim to exploit the chaos of post-war period in their own advantage. Set during the Nazi era, Marriage in the Shadows charts the tragic life of an actor and his Jewish wife as they attempt to survive the Third Reich. And finally, The Blum Affair recounts the true case of a Jewish industrialist who was tried for murder in the 1920s. Encompassing a range of genres, including the thriller, the police procedural, and the courtroom drama, and ranging in visual style from expressionism to stark realism, DEFA's Rubble films are bound together with a concern with the physical and psychological damage wrought by Nazism, World War II, and the Holocaust. Masters of Cinema series is honoured to present all 5 films for the first time on Blu-ray, accompanied by a wealth of extras. Again, it's another set that just sounds really interesting, and definitely, a set in a period of time and close to the bone. It could be interesting. A lot of the films here. We've got a limited edition box set, limited edition hard case, limited edition collector's booklet, reversible inner sleeve artwork featuring new designs for each film. All 5 films presented in 1080p HD from 2K scans from the original 35mm camera negatives. New commentary on The Murderers Are Among Us by crime cinema expert Sergio Angelini. New commentary on Somewhere in Berlin by East German cinema scholar Elizabeth Ward. New commentary on The Police Raid by crime cinema expert Sergio Angelini. New commentary on The Marriage in the Shadows by Sean Allen. New commentary on The Blum Affair written by Roland Mann and presented by David Wingrove. These guys worked on the Strange New World films and did some really nice commentaries together. From the Rubble, new interview with socialist cinema expert Claire Knight on the founding of DEFA and its early productions. Confronting the Past, new interview with Jewish studies scholar Sue Weiss on Marriage in the Shadows and the Blum Affair. Crime Wave, new video essay by DEFA historian Sebastian Hietschuk on DEFA's crime cinema. Rebuilding Berlin, a DEFA documentary on the post-war rebuilding of Berlin. Rebuilding Potsdam, DEFA documentary on the post-war rebuilding of Potsdam. Death Camp Sachsenhausen, a DEFA documentary on the Holocaust and the Sachsenhausen concentration camp. The Eyewitness archival newsreel featuring DEFA's first animation underground scare. The Eyewitness archival newsreel featuring reports on the premiere of The Murders Are Among Us. And the Eyewitness again archival newsreel featuring a report on the making of The Marriage in the Shadows. This thing is absolutely rammed again. That's 3 announcements this month, totaling 16 films. That's a lot for Eureka. Some pricey additions there. Flaming Brothers. Yeah, probably the least exciting of them all. I watched it because it's Chow and Fat and Alan Tang. Furious Swords and Fantastic Warriors. I'll be all over that. Chang Cheh can be fun, not so fun, a little bit boring sometimes. But either way, I will watch all of these and enjoy them. I think I am most excited by the latest Masters of Cinema series, Wrack and Ruin, the Rubble Film at DEFA. Sounds really interesting. If the films aren't great, just as a sheer historical significance, it will be something to be seen. I'm looking forward to checking that out. There's also a low stocks section on Eureka's website, which I thought we'd have a quick look at because there are some titles here that you need to look at. Mabuse Lives is already running short. Definitely worth picking up. Creeping Horror is a terrific set of 4 films, which I would say, again, you absolutely need to get. Cirque in Germany, which was recently released as well. I've got reviews of all of the films on my channel. Definitely worth picking up. Running on Karma was weird. I have an unabashed love for China O'Brien, and I would thoroughly recommend that. Rich and Famous and Tragic Hero. Well, we don't need to get everything. But that's just my thoughts on some of the going out of stock items that I think you should definitely be thinking about. What do you think of these announcements? Is there anything that go, wow, I need that? Incredible. I think there's a couple of titles there and amongst those announcements that really jump out at me and really make me sit up, pay attention, and go, I want that. What do you want? Let me know in the comment box below. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, manvfilm.com always, in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.